It's February 11th, 2022. It's around 11:29 a.m. EST. All of a sudden, there was like this vibration. It sounded like one of those kitchen timers that you turn and then it makes a tick, 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 but in a very fast pace, which I don't have. I don't own one of those. But the vibration, I think it's coming from the ceiling with the whatever's going on up above. I think it's, in actuality, I think it's the light that's vibrating when I sit here and I try to pinpoint. I put my hands on the glass to the outside and I feel slight vibration on the glass of the window. It keeps starting and then stopping. It's bizarre. But more than that, it's just I don't know. I don't have words for this level of poltergeist. I don't. But what I do have is in my hindsight being retinal cams, if it looks like a square, which it doesn't, but if it did, and if there were floaters that were somehow put into the back of my vision for whatever I'm picking up on right now, I see floaters and there's a wave pattern of disturbance inside the color visual cortex spectrum in the gas, in the foresight of my vision. It looks something like this. For the most part, it's stable, but if I just laid down very still on a graph pattern of the slats underneath the bed. So I had visual acuity of some form of stable feature. So I could rudimentarily, in quintessential human function, orient the floaters in hindsight with the physical dimensions that I'm astral projected into, and then watch the stable vision as it quivers, because it has a break, it has some form of seismic whatever. Shortly after, I picked up on that quiver and I marked it in the air with quintessential human function, as I've done many times before without camera. Just fly on the wall in holographic universe most likely can pick up on it, but shortly after that, then the light fixture in some form of lower level, like, I don't know if, like, if it's a holographic universe and I'm astral projected into a penalty box, penalty being PEN, meaning creative utility tool, in some alt paired in reality, which is what creates the prism effect. So that's penalty. Some form of creation tool where you're able to draw something into something else in some alternate fashion from what it originally in Elder Scrolls was allowed to be in. And then you mixed the two into some form of new trap, which is where I currently am being held in a galaxy that's broken, with the universe and the Milky Way on one side and the solar system and the planet on the other, and it's not acceptable. I mean, there's no cosmological orientation and astrological, like if I look up at the night sky, and even if I look in the daytime, it's constantly changing. So with that being said, I didn't draw myself here. I find there's nothing but torture, devastation. It's like at this point, like angel of death perhaps, but I don't know colloquially and tribally. I'm in a place that they refer to as Triborough, Triboro. They built a bridge. Again, I'm not New York savvy like Lynn and Lou. They know a little bit more about the city. I don't know what the Triborough Bridge, Bridge, connects, but the Triborough Bridge connects something. It's kind of like that bridge in Crimea that the one gentleman that was sent for a visit was working on or pulled into, where they wanted some kind of bridge built to signify, and I don't know what that Crimea bridge was, but again, between Prussia and Bavaria, when they fight and then when they install things to hide whatever things in whatever, some licorice pizza, doppelganger, privy private book. But Triborough's got one in New York, and it's got something to do with Trisomy, Triboro, and our borough, like they're covering something up, or it was undercover with a cover. Is that what Triborough means? And then trisomy, again, if I cry me a river enough in one voice to the genetics that look like my own, perhaps they can have a private family meeting at Umbrella Corp or Corpse, and they can give me a hand out of whatever this is. In this does not look, feel, or sound right, and there's some kind of problem. I just don't know what. I'm stuck on some island. Above me is the Long Island Sound. The big lie is the highway that runs from Fish's Head to Tail. And below me is a fire island. Narragansett Bay surrounds whatever. An outer seashell formation of one fish in a whaling whatever. I'm on the bay, right? Why am I being kept at bay? I got real plans, or I'm not supposed to be in a penalty box. This astral projection is wrong for so many reasons. And now it feels like it's deteriorating, or it's turned into some kind of torture facility. It's star 1978, star 8378. Nicole, Cattaruzza, it's Earth. Solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. I was walking earlier. Well, I went out for a real walk, but I was walking around between when I saw the seismic vibe. And there it is. It almost sounds like from outside. Like that sound. Like something was turned on. I would normally say it would be sound vibration of like a tuning fork from where, I have no idea. But it causes the house to shake at times. But I'm also still experiencing in between the articulated part of my joints of like my knee and my elbows, my shoulder, my neck, and as I walk, it's like dispersing energy. Like my joints are arcing in a way where it sounds like they're cracking. I've never had this before. This is unacceptable arithmetic in some kind of torturous whatever is going on. Um, oh, and that brings me to, I said before about Lynn Lackner, the Imperial Manor, and caffeines, as if that one event wasn't enough. That was just music and like strobe lights of like weird. Um, but then Maria Mirza, different, whatever. I don't think Lynn ever met her. She might have. I don't really know. I don't do like cross thatching and like whatever. I keep everything separate. But Maria invited me to something called a Sprats, Sprats, when she was going to Hofstra. I think I was at LIU at the time, and I didn't have like campus life. It was go to class, go home, whatever. Just be happy you're away from Lynn and Lou, which I thoroughly was. Oh, and there was the gym, but it was just a treadmill, nothing fancy. And so, let me think about this. So Maria Mirza invited me to some VIP event, some promoter she heard about, because she listened to something called a 97.1. I listen to 100.3, the zoo. She listened to Hot 97. So she said that something with them, they were having some promotion, some place called Sprats. She said to go over there and meet her, so I did. And then it got really weird because it was like not my crew. Not my. She's like, there's gonna be celebrities here. I'm like, if there's celebrities from the radio, how do you know? I'm like, first of all, I don't listen to the same music as you. I mean, a couple of songs maybe, but for the most part, we don't listen to the same music. But how do you see what they look like if it just comes through the radio? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, exactly. So if they're having this big promoters for event and all these radio personalities and like talent is that are there, how do you know who the talent is and who the nobodies are? And she's like, I don't know. I was like, yeah, me neither. And so she's like, let's just go check it out. Right, right. So that was like somewhere off of Eisenhower Park. So I went. It was just as useless of a whatever. And then somebody was trying to teach me how to dance. And I'm like, this doesn't feel right. I was like, this doesn't feel right. I don't like this kind of dancing. I was like, I'm just going to go stand over there. She likes to dance this way. Go ahead. Have at it. It's just, I mean, again, I'm just like a fuddy-duddy. It's like, and I'll, whatever. And then I'm like, this isn't right. And then I move on. So that was it. I think I went to Sprats maybe once or twice. She wanted me to go back when there was no VIP event, and that was better, because then there was no like pawing at your carcass and like trying to teach you how to dance with people that you really don't want to be bumping and grinding with. So it's like, yeah, that was the end of like going out like that with her. I'm like, you know what, maybe we shouldn't. We'll stick to the Sunnyside bar where we sit and nobody asks us to dance and we just talk, because I don't want people coming in and touching me. It's just weird. So that happened. We stayed in Sunnyside, Queens for a while with Melissa Raskowski and Maria. And then Melissa knew a lot of people. So her kind of people, I liked her kind of people. They were mostly like, I don't know, am I allowed to say the good Greek? Um, and they were very reserved, which I liked. Not like Maria's crowd of Hot 97 kids. I was like, looks like more like Nora Tiafrio's echelon. um, yeah, so that's what's going on in the environment today, with a flashback to all the abuse that I fucking had to witness in this disgusting like, I'm verbose about it only because it's so bombastic and so barbose at this point. And like worse than Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, that swashbuckling whatever, I could deal with Johnny Depp and his whatever, because it's not crass. Crass. I mean, at brass tacks, it's like, I really don't want to, like, do I have to verbalize this? Like, this is not how I want to be remembered. I mean, I don't like the humans at this level. I don't want to speak on their behalf. I don't even want to have to come up with words. It's so embarrassing having to, like, recount all of the human disgust I had to witness and come up with some kind of respectable, translatable word where it's not the slang of the streets. Oh, God. Star 1978, Star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza, it's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy is broken. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. And that goes back to, like, here's where Tier Free 1975 was in this toilet paper garbage that he threw me into. Takes me out to Carrie's birthday party. Oh my God, I'm thinking soccer moms, a nice home baked cake. No. We get there, and the girl is so high off of her whatever, she's up against a glass wall and licking it and trying to have sex with it. I'm like, never been to a party like that, and I didn't expect to be brought into that kind of situation. Then I got one guy dressed up like the devil. He's got like a top hat and like tails, and he's, I mean, ready to get naked. And I'm like, Tia, for real, where are we? Like, how, get me back to the car. I get a headache. I go to the cabinet to take a Tylenol out of a Tylenol labeled bottle. I then all of a sudden get dizzy. I lock myself in the bathroom with a gay guy, and I'm like, you're just my witness in case I fall out. I was like, so you can get help for me. I was like, until Tia Friel's ready to leave. Really strange crowd. I was wearing the same La Femme Nikita, by the way, outfit that I was wearing the night I went out to Port Jeff with Happily Ever After Gingham Check in a respectable Dayton silver Audi. Just the two of us, by the way, before life went into, like, the bowels of hell. In what the hell are the humans up to on Long Island? I don't want to know. Really, I don't. And I don't want to have to report on it, but here we are. Like, some really scary shit's going on.